Hi everyone, welcome to the first episode of Art with Alicia. On today's episode, we're going to be working with Colorsticks. So please join me for creation from start to finish. Okay, so today right here I have a self-portrait, and what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you a few things to make this portrait beautiful and colorful. We're going to do some color blending, some burnishing, some hatching and cross hatching, some sgraffito, and some impressed line work. What I like to do first is I like to get all my color sticks that are related to each other. So here I have all of the similar skin tones, and we're gonna start with blending. So the first thing I want to do is go in and put in my shadow areas. So right now would be a really good time to talk to your kids about how our faces are not flat. They have bumps and dips and ridges and all that stuff, and those things create shadows. So once you have some shadowy areas, you want to go ahead and take the closest color to your skin tone and just start kind of blending those together. I like going in little circles. You can also go in little S shapes or little wiggles and scribble scrabbles, just as long as by the end it's all completely full and you can't see any white paper left over. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish this part and then show you how you would put in some highlights and then also blend those out. Basically what I'm doing is I'm going back and forth between my shadow color and the closest color to my skin tone. So right now I'm not trying to burnish, because once you start burnishing, it's really hard to start mixing those colors together and they kind of start getting stuck and you can't really move them anymore. And I like keeping these in my hand because I feel like, just like Prismacolors, it keeps them nice and warm and softer to work with. Alright, so basically, like you see up here in this area, I'm not going to do the whole face, but right here in this area, how I keep going back and forth, that is color blending. Once I get into the areas where my light source is hitting it, I can go in with my light colors, like white, a lighter peach, and my skin tone, the closest color to my skin tone. I can start working on the areas where the light source is hitting it. So both of these areas are just two examples of color blending. I would let the kids know that analogous colors work best. So for instance, right now, since I'm doing my skin, I'm picking out some skin tones. If I were doing my hair, I like to let my kids do whatever crazy hair color they want. But if I was doing my hair that I have right now, I would pick out that color family. If I was doing my shirt, of course, I could be any color that you want. So I would get those colors ready and just have the kids hold them in their hand, because if they're holding them in their hand, they know that they need to switch and not just use the same color over and over and over again. I'm going to show you some burnishing. So what I like to tell my kids for burnishing is they need to hold their paper and they kind of like wiggle it around. If they see the paper is shining in the light, then they have properly burnished their paper. So I'm going to, down here in the neck area, I'm going to do some burnishing as well as color blending. And I would also tell the kids that since your neck is curved, that we don't just want these lines to be straight. We want them to follow the curve of the neck. At the end right here, if I want this color to transition into another color, I start feathering at the end. That way those colors can kind of intertwine and mix together more seamlessly rather than there just being a straight line of like dark brown and then a straight line and a straight block of skin tone color, whatever your skin tone color might be. So if we see this area right here, we can tell that this area is not properly burnished. I can't see the paper anymore. And if I am looking at it in the light, there's a bit of a sheen to it. If I run my finger over it, it has a smooth, nice texture to it. What we're going to do next is some cross hatching. So I'm going to just go ahead and color the shirt with some cross hatching. And that's a really easy way to fill a lot of space. It's just a really easy way to fill a lot of space, but still be able to put down highlights and shadows, because as your kids know, the tighter your cross hatching is, the darker it'll be, and the more spread out your lines are, it will be lighter. The next thing we're going to do is sgraffito. So on something like this, you might want to sgraffito like in the hair or maybe details in the neck or whatever you like, but I like to tell my kids to put a light color down first. So I'm going to take a light yellow. Okay, I'm going to put down a nice solid base. And then on top of that, I can put a darker color. Once you have a nice thick color, you can take something like a bamboo skewer, a toothpick, or I have right here a paper clip, and then just start scratching in whatever designs that you want. So this is a good way to put in little details. If you're making like a landscape, this is a really good way to put in like those little fine trees and twigs and all that stuff. And the very last thing that we're going to do is one that my kids really love, 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 because it's like magic to them. So do it on the side right here. You just take a scrap piece of paper or a sticky note like I have right here, take a regular ballpoint pen, and you can have your kids whatever they want, have them draw whatever they want. Just make sure they're pushing hard enough to where it leaves an indentation on the paper. My kids love this, but they tend to overuse it, so I have to kind of remind them not to go overboard. Once you go over that, you will see that the area where you made the indentation is still white, and the kids love that. They think it's like magic. If you use all of these techniques all together, you'll wind up with a beautiful, nice self-portrait. I like to teach the different techniques based on the age and ability level, and I don't have my kids use all of them, because if they had used all of them on something like this, it would probably look a little bit too messy and like all over the place. So I tell them to just pick like 2 or 3 that they really liked and fill up their paper with whatever they chose. So right here, I did mostly color blending, burnishing and blending in some areas. So here I have some kindergarten examples, a second grade example, and a fourth grade example. Well, guys, I hope you found this information helpful. Remember to click like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.